So welcome back to the 10-6 Diaries. So we're on episode 33. Been at it a long time. Hopefully going to crush this goal this year. But yes, this is week number 3 of the sort of like transition between indoors and outdoors. So obviously had quite a good indoor season with the 7 flat, 100th PB. So trying to kind of bring that form to outdoors and hopefully, get a new PB. That's kind of like the minimum goal for this season. And hopefully crush the goal of 10-6 as well. So yeah, week number 3 I had a little bit of a problem. So I have plantar fasciitis. I had that sort of back in sort of like, it was probably the worst, like November time was when it got the worst, November, December time. And then in season it sort of magically sort of like disappeared for some reason, and then it's sort of came back in the end of week number 2. I could feel it a little bit, so sort of like backed off some of the elastic volume and decided to kind of just focus on getting it healthy, making sure that I'm not creating future problems for myself. So that was sort of the goal with this training day. So just took the resisted sprints out and was just kind of focusing on the speed endurance, because I feel like speed endurance and max velocity are sort of the most important areas that I can kind of work on to improve. My acceleration is already kind of at a really good point, so I just need to kind of try and get my max velocity and speed endurance to catch up. I honestly feel like my speed endurance feels really good at the moment. Like I've not had much of a decline from like past 60 meters. Like I seem to be maintaining velocity quite well for that last 40 meters. So I'm hoping that I can kind of translate that newfound speed endurance into some good gains for outdoors, but just got to try and stay healthy. That's kind of the main goal, is to stay healthy, open the season, and then kind of go from there really. So I am like mid-session, kind of like losing my voice. So got some hundreds today and had like a cold this past week. So I'm just kind of like, taking it, I'm not taking it easy, but I've taken it quite easy this week, like I planned for the cold. I feel like I sound really bad right now. But yeah, so running some hundreds and done 2 so far, so trying to run these like max efforts. So I'm giving myself like a lot of rest between, so I'll probably rest like 20 to 25 minutes this next rep. So I started off with a 12 flat with the action time. I ran 11:54 with the action time again. So yeah, first 30 feels really good, max velocity is a little bit mid, and then speed endurance is all right. So yeah, I feel like I can definitely push the max velocity up a good bit this next one if I rest enough and kind of feel fresh enough. Usually as I progress through the session, I'll kind of get faster each rep, so I don't really expect any less than that. But yeah, my indoor PR with the reaction time is like 11:36, so it would be nice to get close to that. Just kind of like see how I feel, but yeah, definitely things are looking decent so far. It'd be nice to kind of go a bit quicker with 3.1 for the 30, but I'll see how things go. Calf's like a little bit tight on the right leg. So that's like the first time I've had that. It's like right at the Achilles, so I'm like hoping it's not Achilles tendinopathy, but I'm gonna continue on with the session. I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll see if it's still really bad. But yeah, that's really the thoughts for the session so far. So I'm just gonna kind of rest now, just like visualize between this rep and try and just like execute. So something as well I kind of like realised in the past few weeks is that with my sort of sprinting, certainly it feels very like robotic, and it doesn't feel like I'm flowing as well. So I think a big goal is going to be to just try and run without thinking now. I think I'm kind of at a stage where built up the qualities indoors during that training in the off season, and now it's just time to just run and try not think about things, and that's usually when I find I run my best. I think it's just the idea of like you're just kind of performing without thought. You're not kind of putting any energy into thinking about it, you're just kind of going out and doing it. So yeah, with this workout,
ran some reasonable times, like 4.09 is the fastest that I've ran in this little sort of like bridge between indoors and outdoors. I guess sort of like a general preparation phase for outdoors maybe. But yeah, definitely some things to work on. I still feel like my max velocity is not caught up with my sort of acceleration. I feel like that's the main thing. Like once I improve my max velocity, that should then have like the knock-on effect to, you know, better speed endurance, or not necessarily better speed endurance, but it means that my speed endurance phase will be faster as well, so it kind of like will bring everything along. So I'm hoping that that's what I can do in this kind of final 4 weeks before I open my season. So far I've had a few problems that I guess I'll go over in my next videos, but I'm hoping that the problems aren't going to derail me too much. I've had a few weeks of easier training the past couple of weeks because of these issues, but I'm hoping that I can kind of get back on track within the next few workouts and, you know, be ready for the season opener. Plan is to open the season start of May as well. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I've got a 100, a 200 and a 4x4 relay team. So the 4x4 relay team's actually really interesting. So it's like we've literally got like a 1500 specific guy, 800 specific guy and a 400 guy, and then there's me as a 100 guy. So I've actually got like a really interesting team. Like I think a lot of them are kind of like low 50s. You know, I think the 400 guy is like 52. The 1500 guy I think's done like a 53, 52 and might be faster than that now, and then the 800 guy's done like a 50 flat. So yeah, if I can improve from my 57 that I did last year with, and to be fair, the 57 second 400 that I did last year, you gotta like hear me out on this. So when I ran the 57 second, it was like 57.43. When I ran that, I only had done up to like 40 meters in training in the past, like since pretty much like February to April, which is when I did the 400 in April last year, and I'd only really done up to like 30 meters in training, hadn't done anything past that. So considering that, like that's, I guess, not a bad time, but I'll see what my split is. I'm kind of like super curious to see what my split is with some more like longer sprint training in place. It should be really interesting, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. So I'm excited for that. The 200 is like the day after, so the 100 I'm quite confident, providing I can open my season well, that I'll make the 100 meter semi-final. So it's like heat, semi-final, then final would be the next day. So I'm quite confident I can make the semi-final just based off like times that have been ran like previously. So with that, obviously I'm going to have to run the heat in the semi-final. I'll probably have to run the heat like very fast though, which is, I guess, like an issue if you're not as quick as kind of the quickest guys. So I'm going to have to run that really intensely. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do the 200. I'll just have to sort of like wait and see what my situation is come, you know, closer to the competition. But I definitely feel like I don't have the legs in me to run like a max effort 200 the day after. So I might have to drop out of that. But it would be good to do a 2 because I feel like I'm overdue, you know, 200 meter PB. Last time I ran a legit 200 meter PB was 2022 when I went 23:46 into like a minus, it was like minus 1.6 or something like that. It's quite a big headwind, but yeah, definitely want to run a 200 at some point this season, so I'll probably plan that in. I think early season's probably the best time to run 200s, but I'll just have to, you know, as I say, wait and see how things pan out. But certainly feeling good based off indoor prep, and hoping now to transition that a little more into this outdoor prep. So that is the plans, and that's really about it for the video. So I hope you enjoyed